should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. You're listening to Hoppe Hour. You're tuned in to Hoppe Hour, an hour where Hoppe rants about something. Sit back and listen in. Hoppe Hour is on now. Hoppe Hour is on now.
Yo, what's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and for the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my opinion to go into your brain, and once you're done listening to the full edition of Hoppe Hour, you go, wow, Hoppe's a genius. Wow, I see the way he sees things now, and he's a smart man. Call me, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE, and I will be sure to take your calls in real time. When I say phone lines are open, that's when you call. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and if you have the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play or iPhone shop, search it up and you can chat me live, like right now, or if you're listening via Spreaker, chat me, and I will see your messages in real time. Help Hoppe Hour win again as best local podcast here in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Go to tinyurl.com/vote for Hoppe Hour. That's tinyurl.com/vote for Hoppe Hour. There, I'm under best local podcast, best local internet radio show, the one I'm really honored about, best radio personality, and the one I love too. The one that cracked me up was best morning show. It doesn't even say Hoppe Hour. It just says Ryan Hoppe. So if you want to vote me as the best morning show, I mean, it's possible. Maybe you listen to my show in the morning. It could be a morning show. So yes, I'm under best local morning show for Tampa Bay, best citizen, best Twitter. All of that is at tinyurl.com/vote for Hoppe Hour. Ah, man, we have so much to get into, so I feel like we're at this point where we're bored with mass shootings. We're bored with violence. If there's 20 people that aren't dead and it's just two, why talk about it? What did Michelle Obama say last night? What did wacky Sarah Silverman say? If this Fort Myers shooting had 40 people dead, we would be talking about it. If this Fort Myers shooting wasn't at a teen nightclub, we would be talking about it. That's the first thing that makes me sick about this Fort Myers shooting. Here's the thing about these nightclubs. They're really no different than when you guys went to a music fest, let's say back in the 70s. It's just the millennial version of going out. I hate when they go, why do they let the parents go to these clubs, you know? I mean, I don't know, potato. You wish for the best, that your kid will come home safely. You wish for the best that he won't die. I just find it very weird that everyone's been judging these parents when their kids are dead, all two. That's the other problem. It's just two people that are dead. If it was any more, if it was 20 teens gone, CNN would be all on it. If it was any more, CNN would care. But the problem is, it doesn't make for a unique thing to talk about. How are they going to fill 24 hours with it? It's gang rivalry at a nightclub in Fort Myers. Why would anybody talk about it? That's the problem. Is we sit here and we go, how can we fix the problem? It's like gun control. Should we have tougher laws? How about the fact that when there's a shooting in Baltimore, or there's a shooting in Chicago, or there's a shooting in Fort Myers, or there's a shooting in Dallas, or there's a shooting anywhere. I don't care if it's Gary, Indiana, Cleveland, or Louisville, or Tampa. If it's in the news, we should cover it equally. The media needs to quit covering what makes ratings for them and what brings in a plot line, and the media needs to cover everything that happens. I am having a real hard time lately finding news from CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, especially the Huffington Post. I have to go to Britain to get the news about America. I have to go to the dailymail.co.uk. There's no reason my news source should ever be .uk. Nothing against British people. I'm just saying, we wonder why we have all this violence going on in America. It's because it's not getting covered. Because the media is too afraid to talk about it. Why is this goofy-ass podcast giving more coverage to the Florida nightclub shooting than, let's say, CNN or Fox News? Ugh, I've had enough. I'm so sick and tired of doing these rants, and it seems like I'm one of the only people that has this side of an opinion. I'm the only person that speaks out. People in Florida do. Don't get me wrong. Floridians and Florida talk shows do. But the rest of the country can give a rat's ass. All right, this is from the BBC, of course, because I had to get it from the BBC. You have to go to .co.uk. You got to go to the BBC. Of course, it's never any American domains that are talking about American news. God damn it. Florida nightclub shooting, just 2 dead, which I love that headline, by the way, just 2. Whatever. And 16 injured in Fort Myers. 2 people have been killed and up to 16 injured in a shooting at a nightclub in the city of Fort Myers in Florida, police say. The attack happened at Club Blue, which was a thing for teenagers, it says. What great grammar. Police have taken in 3 people, but the incident was not an act of terror. All right. I don't know what the definition of terrorism is. I feel like when we think of terrorism, we think of ISIS and we think of people from the Middle East or a mass shooting. I'm really beginning to have this thought in my head, and I'm not kidding. If you take someone's life and you do it in a shooting by going into a club or going into a movie theater or going into a school and shooting people, the immediate feeling you have is fear, is terror. Call me a shock jock. Tell me I'm insane. But I'm beginning to feel like any shooting is an act of terrorism. No, it's not the complete definition, because when you think of terrorism, you think of 9/11 or you think of bombings. But to me, this is terrorism. Let's look up the definition of terrorism. When you have 2 teenagers, 14 and 18, that are at the nightclub just trying to have fun during the summer, and they die. The use of violence and intimidation in the pursuit of aims. I guess it doesn't have to do with good old politics. I'm just saying, at some point, we need to cover everything that happens equally. We wonder why we keep having these issues. You see me riled up today. It's because I'm sick and tired of being the one person that talks about it. It's ridiculous. Sometimes when I do this show, I feel like the crazy old man on the front lawn just saying things, you know. And I shouldn't feel that way. Other people should come up to the plate, you know, people that actually make, let's say, $500,000 to be in their nice suits on TV. They should be talking about it too, but it doesn't fit their ratings. It's not convenient for CNN. The victims of the attack were between 12 and 27 years old. A hospital spokesperson said 4 people remained in hospital with serious injuries. Police are looking into the motive of the attack. That's them being PC, the BBC. We know what the motive of the attack was. It was gang-related. Way to report the news. Sarita Gray, whose daughter was in the club, told the Fox 4 news channel, "I just thank God that my daughter is okay because she could have been shot." It's a good point. I saw Snoop Dogg last Thursday at the Amphitheater. I went with my friend Ryan, and it was really weird. I was in the VIP seats, the Pepsi deck. It's amazing. And you get a clear view to see who's up there. So I got to see Wiz and Snoop, like probably 200 yards away from me, 100 yards, real close. So I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like observing the crowd when I'm at the show, and I'm like, okay, a gunman could go through here, a gunman could go through here, could go through the crowd. I was like observing my plan on how to escape. I literally was going, okay, so there's this pop machine near the Pepsi party deck. I'll duck, then I'll get out, and then I'll run out. There's no reason that in this life we need to spend concerts and public events being afraid. There's no reason we need to plan our getaway. But that's how I felt. I was like, okay, where should I go? I've been doing this a lot lately. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm here in Florida, and the thing that happened in Pulse nightclub and then up in Fort Myers, it's in between Tampa. It's like a sandwich. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I think one of the biggest problems we have as humans, and I've really come to realize it, I did this prior to my dad dying, but now I just accept death, that someday we'll all be dead. And I think what happens is we see these headlines and we go, oh, that sucks. What's for dinner? We don't really seem to break down that two teenagers that were just trying to have fun go into a nightclub and lose their life. We don't really seem to think of all the friends and family and siblings, mentors, teachers, whoever liked these kids, any type of violence ever. You think about all the victims that are gone and all the moments they're going to have, the depression, the denial, the anger, and then the acceptance. We don't really seem to think about what goes into death when somebody loses a life. And that's the biggest problem. Just saying, call me 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. It's just something I've noticed recently is we pretend we care. We do that American thing where we go, whatever you need, I'm here for you, you know. Like when my dad died 2 years ago, everybody messaged me. Probably got 200 comments on the post and probably 50 messages via chat that day on Thanksgiving. And it was, whatever you need, Hoppy, I'm here for you. And it's like someone I haven't talked in 3 years. I'm here for you. And it's like some girl that never had a chance with me. I'm here for you. It's all these people hitting me up. And I'm like, thank you. Would you want to hang out next week? Never got back to me. That's the thing with death, too. Is everybody feels like they have to say something. Like they have to go, oh, sorry about that. But then when you reach out for help, they go, eh. That's how it is when people die. We care. We go, wow. Someone went into a nightclub and lost their life. And we talk about it at work, at school. But then we go, should we go to Chipotle or B-Dubs today? We're not breaking it down. And that's because the media isn't breaking it down for us. Just saying. It's something I've been thinking about. Because we sit here and we go, how are we going to fix the problem? We sit here and we go, man, people keep dying. Man, things are really bad in Chicago. Man, what could we do? Here's what we could do. We could begin by covering it. Doesn't matter if 2 people died at a nightclub in Fort Myers or the 49 people that lost their lives at Pulse or all the violence in Chicago, Baltimore, Milwaukee, Detroit. People seem to overlook that there's a lot of violence in the Midwest. If we were to take everything that goes on and cover it equally and appreciate life, then maybe something will change. But until then, I will be here speaking my mind, letting you know how I feel about it, and the media will keep covering Kim Kardashian's ass. All right, next on Hoppe Hour, we're doing a very short Hoppe Hour today. I will be having comedian Carl Remy on the show, who can be seen all this weekend at Side Splitters. So we will be right back and listen to it via the app on the next episode. Hang on.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.